So let's proceed from where we left. We were connecting our HTML file with the Bootstrap and as well as our external CSS. So I think we have already done the connections. So we are now linking to our external CSS, and our external CSS is called hours underscore style.css. So as usual, less than sign link, enter. The folder is called CSS, and then the file is called hours underscore style.css. It's good you confirm the spelling so that maybe we don't make some mistakes later. So this is hours underscore style dot css, hours underscore style dot css. So save, check whether the CSS is working. Oh, I'm expecting the classes to behave. Of course, let me confirm whether I have done the linkings. I have class 1 here that expecting the class 1 to be here. Oh, I had not included it, so this is class 1. Save. I want to see whether the class 1 is working. It should not be actually in the nav bar, but it should be in my first container flows. Oh yeah, there you go. So my CSS is now working because you can see my first container fluid has picked the effects. Of course, we had defined that it should be 800 pixels height, image width 100%, background attachment should be fixed, etc, etc. So I think we can now try to, or we can connect the rest of the classes to the respective container fluids. So the first container fluid, class 1. The second container fluid, class 2. The third container fluid, class 3. The fourth container fluid, class 5. So that way we expect now every container fluid to have to pick the effects associated with it. There we go. Exactly. So the other thing that we may also want to have is that when we are scrolling, we are expecting the navbar to stick. Yeah. For now, you can see the navbar is not sticking on the top here. So we need to make the navbar to stick on top, so that when the user is scrolling the content, then the navbar is sticking. So for this case, what we need to do, we need to include a class in our nav, a class called navbar fixed top. Navbar fixed top. Sorry, navbar fixed top. That is the class that expects navbar fixed top. That's the class that will make our navbar to stick as we scroll downwards. Exactly. So you can see the navbar is sticking on top there. So I think that's okay. So we also need to confirm whether our expanding effect is there. Of course it's there. So that means our jQuery is working. Now the other thing that we also want to do is that the moment you click home, we need to be brought to the first container fluid. If you click our services, the second container fluid, about us the other one, etc, etc. So to achieve that, first we need to do the linking of the necessary links to specific IDs. So like I can say, home should take us to an object whose ID is home. Services to an object whose ID is services. About us to an object whose ID is subject. About us, sorry. About. Contactors, an object or a container fluid whose ID is contact. So we now need to go down there and make sure that we have those IDs in the respective container fluid. So we have, for the first one is home. Of course, should be the first container fluid ID equals home. Then the second one ID equals services. ID equals services. I need to have that ID. Yeah. The second object, the second container fluid ID equals services. Then now that id equals about, id equals about. The other one, id equals contact, id equals contact. So now I'm expecting the moment you click any object on top there, that is the end link on top here, then we're expecting the respective layer to be loaded. Yes, that's what I am expecting. So I think that's okay. What you need to do now, of course, I've seen that this image is a bit heavier, so I may recommend we use background color instead of using an image. Maybe you can decide to use color black. Yes, something like that. So loading is a bit faster. So I think now that we are settled, so we now need maybe to reduce the speed at which it's loading the respective object, so that maybe it can load in a lazy style. All right, so we need to have in between the bootstrap.me.js and bootstrap.me.css, we need to link to a script by the name bootstrap jQuery.easing.me.js, which is in a folder called JS. So we'll say jQuery dot easing.me.js. We also need to link to another script that is within a folder called JS, and the script is scrollingnav.js. Scrollingnav.js. Always cross check the spelling. Don't assume. jQuery.easing.me.js, jQuery.easing.me.js. Then we have scrollingnav.js. Scrollingnav.js. So once you've done that, then now you need to give the respective link tags a class called page scroll. You need to have class page scroll in the links that you want to be loading specific pages in a lazy style or in a scrolling style. So there we go. Let's check whether it's working. Exactly. That's what you wanted to achieve, the lazy or the scrolling effect. So the other thing that now we may want to do now that we have our pages on board, we may want now to have like in the home page, we may want like to have some content. Of course, you can have like a slider here, or maybe sliding effects here. We may also want to have maybe breaking news over here. If you go maybe to the second container fluid, we may want still to have some content as well. That way. So for now, we may just decide, like in the first page, we have some wow slider. That is, we demarcate this page into two. Maybe, of course, we have col SM9 and then col SM3. That totals to 12. So in the first one, we have our slider. So quickly launch your slider. Maybe you can have some images on top there. It's my slider. Let me get some images. Of course, it's good to have high resolution images so that your sliding effect can maybe have images that are not blurred. So once you're done with putting the effects and all that, probably maybe you can decide to give it some nice height and width. Save in the folder where you have your work. What is that? Folder not projects, not academy, not school, that is. Let me just save directly here. Then of course, as usual, I mean, we have saved data 1 and folder 1 engine 1, and then from there copy the links kama kawaida, paste them here somewhere within the head tag. Let me just do it here so that I may avoid conflicts. Then the second thing that I have to do, I have now to paste the content in the exact locations where I want it to be. So I wanted it to be in the first call SM, the first demarcation of the first row within the first container fluid, which is there. So then the second one, probably I can have like the second container fluid, I can have something like center, H1, news. So let's see what we have achieved. Oh yeah, there we go. I have my first column 9, and then we have my second part. I think I need to create some space and also change maybe the color of my H1s. I can like decide to have some BR lights here so that the content can be seen. I can also decide to change my H1s to give it some different color. So let me scroll down here, create a selected one as usual, maybe change the color to white. So all my joints are now expecting they will be, or they will have color white. Let me refresh. There you go. So I will now have like breaking news here. I can select fetch this data from Twitter, or I can say to fetch it from anywhere. If you are creative enough, you can even make this one a bit glowing using text effects. If you open your W3 tools, you'll be able to see text shadow effect. That's a class that we can use to apply some shadow effect on our objects, on our text. Yeah, that is under fonts, font style. Of course, it's CSS. Sorry, CSS. You can check text shadow effect. Text shadow effect. So you can now decide like to have that. So just need to say maybe text shadow. Then you decide 2 pixels, maybe 5 pixels, 3 pixels, color red or the color yellow or the color that you want to create the effect. It's a matter of just becoming creative, defining your information the way you want it to be. Yeah, so the most important thing, or rather the most important item that you're learning from Bootstrap is the one, the ability to divide your page to number of small columns that you may want. You can also include your external CSS, as you've seen, and there are many other features. Like for this case, you can decide when you click sign up, for example, to create a model where the form pops up for people to fill, yeah, or maybe login. So in such a case, then you need just to understand what classes do you have in place to create models. So if you go to W3 Schools, check model, you'll be able to see that we have plugins that are already installed in jQuery and also in Bootstrap that you can be able to use to achieve something like this. When somebody clicks a link, then a model pops up, and maybe within the model, of course, maybe within the model body, you can now put your form there. So what do you need to achieve that? You need simple things. One, you need to have your button with you, or maybe the object of linking with you. Then after that, you give that object class data toggle. You need to give it data target and data toggle. So data target is an object, just like as class is of course it's an attribute, just like class is an attribute. Then now you put the value. So data toggle picks model as the value, and data target picks now the ID, or the ID that is expected to be launched in such a case. So for this case, you may just need to have those two. So I need to have data toggle and data target. Data toggle and data target within the item that I want it to be clicked and to bring about the effect. So of course, me, I was targeting the word sign up. So when it is clicked, then what do you expect? I'm expecting that sign up to have